actions of police during the protests over the shooting death of Michael Brown by a police officer have shined a spotlight on individual officers who police the communities in and around Ferguson, Missouri. One officer, Matthew Pappard of nearby Glendale, was suspended and has since apologized for posting on his Facebook page that the Ferguson protesters, quote, should have been put down like rabid dogs the first night. A St. Anne officer was suspended indefinitely for pointing a semi-automatic rifle at peaceful protesters and threatening to kill them. And then there's St. Louis County Police Officer Dan Page, currently on leave after going on this rant.
I don't care whether you're a Christian or not. I personally believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord Savior, but I'm also a killer. I've killed a lot, and if I need to, I'll kill a whole bunch more. If you don't want to get killed, don't show up in front of me. It's that simple. Broken down into 10.
That speech, which also included attacks on gays in the military and forays into birtherism, was recorded during a meeting of the Oathkeepers, a group founded 3 months into President Obama's first term in March of 2009 by a Yale-educated former Army paratrooper and ex-Ron Paul staffer named Stuart Rhodes. A 2010 report by Justine Sharrock of Mother Jones describes the Oathkeepers as one of the fastest-growing patriot organizations on the right, which has established itself as a hub in the sprawling anti-Obama movement that includes Tea Partiers, birthers, and 9/12ers. Sharrock wrote that there are scores of patriot groups, but what makes Oathkeepers unique is that its core membership consists of men and women in uniform, including soldiers, police, and veterans. At regular ceremonies in every state, members reaffirm their official oaths of service, pledging to protect the Constitution. But then they go a step further, vowing to disobey, quote, unconstitutional orders from what they view as an increasingly tyrannical government. They showed up at the Clive and Bundy Ranch, though their alliance with the militias there ended badly when the two groups reportedly wound up pointing guns at each other and the Oathkeepers pulled out in May. Rhodes, in a 2010 interview at CPAC, said that the group is misunderstood.
All we're really doing is saying, yes, we're reaffirming the principles in the Bill of Rights, and that these are the lines that should not be crossed, and these are what governments have done throughout history, and we've added on some examples from the 20th century, such as the internment of the Japanese Americans, which happened right here, and gun confiscation during Katrina, which happened very recently. So I don't know why that's so conspiratorial.
Of course, Katrina and the designation of enemy combatants and other things that the Oathkeepers oppose happened during the Bush administration. But Rhodes explained why they only got focused under Obama.
It's also the part of the cycle of politics. When it was Bush doing it, the Democrats, liberals were quoting Benjamin Franklin and quoting the Constitution and calling him unconstitutional. Now that it's flipped, now you have more conservatives waking up and going, oh my gosh, I can't believe that these powers are in the hands of the president. But also Obama has reinforced those fears by calling returning veterans potential terrorist threats and by nationalizing GM and doing these huge bailouts for the banks and trying to nationalize health care. I mean, he's acting as though he is doing a scorched earth socialist program as fast as he possibly can.
Now, some of what the Oathkeepers advocate is right-wing or libertarian boilerplate. But their website also includes a post calling the militaristic response to the Ferguson protests an assault on the Bill of Rights. And the group insists they are not advocating overthrowing the government. But with an unknown number of police taking their oath, they are worth paying attention to.